Hello beauties, it's Brittany. I want to do a chit chat, get ready with me, and kind of make it Valentine's Day themed since the day that I am uploading this video is the weekend before Valentine's Day. So let's go ahead and get started. I have some new products that I picked up here and there in the past 2 months that I'm going to feature in this video. So the foundation I'm going to start with is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I have the shade Nude Ivory. I felt like this was a good mix of cool and warm because although I have very cool pink skin, I don't want to enhance it too much, so I like to find a shade that leans a little warm but isn't going to make me look orange. I have used this maybe once or twice, but I have not really given it a full test, so we'll see what happens today. I am going to start first though with my Josie Maran Argan Primer because my skin is oh so dry and looking oh so terrible. So the trick with this cream is the tiniest little bit will do you very, very well. So I'm just putting a little bit on the very dry areas of my skin, like where my pimples are. I need to elect a mayor for this town that I have, so if you know of any candidates, let me know in the comments below. Alright, so in the 2 uses that I have played with this foundation, I find it applies best with a brush and not the Beauty Blender because the Beauty Blender kind of tends to leave patches with this foundation. So I'm going to use my Sigma Flat Top Kabuki F80. This is the 5-year anniversary edition, so it's like the limited edition gold one, or platinum, whatever. And then take this foundation. I'm going to put it on the brush, then onto my skin because it has a very strange applicator. I don't understand this applicator. Are you supposed to paddle it onto your skin? That does not seem sanitary. So I'm dabbing it on the brush and then dabbing it on my skin. Let me take my nose ring out. Alright, so let's just do a little blendy. Okay, so what I'm noticing is that it's leaving my skin very dry. So what are the claims on this? It says blah blah blah, goodbye photo flashback. Let's look it up. Also, you may have noticed the bangs are back. I hope you're all welcoming them with open arms. Alright, claims for this foundation. Your skin only better. Our high-performing skin perfecting foundation underwent major road testing under 7 different photo lighting conditions to deliver flawless camera-ready makeup every time, especially made with a matte, light diffusing complexion to give your skin #NoFilter perfection. First things I'm noticing is it's hecka dry on my skin. Like I mentioned, my skin is in a very bad place and it is also generally very dry. So a matte formula, probably not something I should have bought, but did I do it? I did it. It's on my face. Let's move on. We're gonna need to conceal, and I wanted to wet my Beauty Blender. I'll be right back. I got the Beauty Blender blusher. I didn't actually get it for blush. I got it for under eye concealer because I have the little mini green guy, but that guy is way too tiny. So I wanted something kind of in the middle, so that's what I grabbed. I'm going to use the Born This Way concealer in Fair. I am pretty much scraping the bottom of the barrel here. I really like this foundation, but the next one I think I'm going to go with is going to be the Tarte Shape Tape. If I can ever find it, it's sold out or not sold in stores pretty much anywhere I've gone. I just was recently in Vegas and I went to 3 different Sephoras and they didn't have it anywhere. So, bummer there. I will have to hunt further. Yep, that's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. Is my exposure too bright? Should I turn it down? Yep, that fit perfectly under the eye area, which is literally what I wanted it to do because the Beauty Blender was just a little too big, the mini one just a little too small, and this one's just right. I'm in a very weird mood today. I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in this shade Fair Clear. Are you seeing a theme here with my shade choices? I'm pale as a ghost. I'm going to put this on the wonderful planets on my face today, and then I'm going to blend it in with the brush / that Beauty Blender. Are they gone yet? No, I didn't think so. I'm going to do a little baking because I've been doing that again lately. This is the Coty Airspun. I use it with the Real Techniques Beauty Sponge, and I just tap some of that into the lid and then put it on my skin. Let that sit for a little bit. Once that sits, I'm going to move on to eyebrows because I feel like that's the perfect amount of time for it to bake on my skin. I don't have any new brow products. It's been my favorite little duo here, the Makeup Forever Brow Sculpting Powder in 20 and the Anastasia Tinted Brow Gel in Caramel. I'm going to do that and we'll move on. So I dusted that bake away with just a big fluffy brush, and then after that I'm going to go in with the Jordana Sculpt and Go Cream Stick. Now you might be a little concerned that I just put powder on my face, but I did not put it on the hollows of my cheeks or my jawline. I did have a little bit come on my nose, but we shall survive. I found that blending out this cream stick with a brush is the best method because the Beauty Blender kind of doesn't have enough power to blend it out, so let's get to sculpting. And because I think this palette is the most beautiful palette ever created, I'm going to use the bronzer in here. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Lighting Edition Surreal Light, and the marble packaging is so I'm going to use that bronzing shade. I'm going to use the same brush that I used to blend out that primer. It is the Real Techniques Contour Brush. I'm just going to take the same blushes from this palette. I'm going to mix these two together. I don't want to go too heavy on my blush. For one, I'm going to use quite a lot of glitter on my eye, but also I don't want to attract attention to this guy hanging out on my face. I don't normally do my lips first, but I kind of want to be able to match the intensity of my eyes with the intensity of this lip color. So I recently picked up the NYX Epic Ink Lip Dye in the shade Victoria. And I put this on just the first day that I got it, kind of like haphazardly. And it is very much like an ink pen. It like really kind of went everywhere. So I am going to use a lip liner. This is the Makeup Forever Aqua Lip in the shade 10C. So I'm going to line my lips with this, and then I will use the Epic Ink pen or lip dye thing, and I'm hoping that this lasts a really long time because I feel like lip dye, the claims on this have to be pretty wicked. Dang, that's a bold lip. So let's hope that it lasts as well as a dye should last. I'm going to move on to the eyes and use a primer. I'm going to use the the Milani eyeshadow primer. I am very near the end of this, so I have to like really squeeze this bottle to get anything out, but this is a really good eyeshadow primer. I highly recommend it. Just recently picked up the Revlon Color Stay Eye Cream in the shade Caramel 710, and Tati did a video on these. She said they were really good. I have been a fan of the Maybelline Color Tattoo ones for a very, very long time. I'm trying to get it out of my drawer, and I have really hit pan on Bad to the Bronze, so I figured perfect time to try the Revlon cream shadows and pick up a shade very, very similar. So that's what I did. So what I've noticed right away is that this feels a lot more greasy than the Maybelline Color Tattoo eyeshadows. I don't know if that means it's going to kind of slip and slide and not last as well, because those color tattoos stay in place for so long. That's one of my favorite aspects of them. So if this doesn't stay as long, it definitely will not be a favorite of mine, but we shall see. I'll give it a chance. Now the eyeshadow palette I'm going to use today is the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette. I've had this for a while. I'm just bringing it back out. I needed a little chocolate scent in my life, and I figured Valentine's Day, chocolate, you see where I'm going with this. But I am also going to use the Stila Magnificent Metal Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow, and I have the like little pots of these, and they're my favorite glitter shadows, but they are a little hard to work with. You have to kind of use a mixing medium. This is supposed to make it super simple to just pop it on your eye. My experience is that there tends to be a lot of fallout, not right away, but throughout the day you end up with like glitter everywhere. So I'm going to try a different technique today, and I'll talk about it when I'm doing it. Okay, for the eyes, like I said, I'm using that Too Faced Semi-Sweet palette. I'm going to take a little bit of Nougat on a Sigma, what is it, E25, my favorite brush of life, and just start to create some depth, you know, in the crease, use that as my first transition color. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Peanut Butter, which is obviously clearly like a peanut butter shade, and I'm going to continue to build up the outer corner color, bringing it into the crease. And then to add even more depth and a little bit of darkness on that outer corner, I'm using Puddin', which is a rich brown, and just placing that on the outer corner. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the lower lash line, use a little bit of Puddin' with a pencil brush, then use a little bit of peanut butter to help blend things together. And then I take Coconut Cream, which is a matte white, and I use that on the brow bone. Also helps to blend the other shades kind of downwards so that the brow bone area stays really bright and highlighted. I think I'm going to use a little bit of Rum Raisin in the middle of the lid because this is going to act as the transition color between the glitter I'm going to use and the outer corner shades. Okay, now for the tricky part, that glitter. The technique I'm going to do is use a little bit of a glitter adhesive. This is the LA Splash eyeshadow sealer / base, and I'm going to use this first on the lid, and I'm going to work one eye at a time, put a little bit of the sealer on the eye, and then I'm going to use a brush with the Magnificent Metal Shadow. I'm going to open up the container that it comes in, brush a little bit on to the brush, and then pat it onto the eyelid, because when you are using the actual applicator that the product comes in, you're doing a sweeping motion, and I think that's what's causing the fallout. So I'm going to do a lot of patting and not a lot of blending. Alright, I think that method did work, using the patting motions and putting it onto a brush. Although it does make it a little more complicated to use the product, I think overall this is definitely easier to use than a lot of different glitters, including the Magnificent Metal Original formula from Stila. So I do think that using some kind of sealant is really going to help, as well as taking the product onto a brush and using patting motions as opposed to rubbing / blending motions. So the next few steps are going to be curling my eyelashes with my Tweezerman eyelash curler, tightlining with the Lancome Le Cran black eyeliner, just a pencil liner that's black will work, and then I'm going to do a little bit of liquid liner on my upper lash line with the Voluminous by L'Oreal liner in Noir, and then I'm going to use mascara. My favorite mascara of life is the Benefit They're Real, so that's what I'm going to use. And then I'm going to use some false eyelashes. I have them in this container here, but they are the Nikki Eyelure lashes from their collaboration that they did. So I'm going to use those with the eyelash glue that came in that set, and that will be the eyes. To highlight the inner corner, I'm going to use this same Too Faced palette, and I'm going to use Pink Sugar, which has like a really nice shine to it, a little pink. For highlighter, I'm going to use this Magnificent Makeup Forever highlighter. It's their Pro Light Fusion in the shade number 2, and it's like a beautiful bronzy gold, and I'm going to pile this baby on. Now I'm going to be really careful by this acne spot here, because as I said previously, I don't want to bring that forward in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to spray my setting sprays. I'm going to use the Maybelline Master Fix and the MAC Prep and Prime spray. I'm gonna pile on both of these. And I actually bought a fan when we were on the cruise so that I could fan my face whenever I use my setting sprays, because I go crazy with the setting sprays. I'm gonna put some mascara on my lower lash line, just the Benefit They're Real. I want to make this lip color more pink and less purple, so my lips are pretty dry already. That's the issue with long wearing lip colors like this paint, is that your lips tend to start to look kind of cracked and dried. It is staying really well. Like if I rub my lip, it's not coming off too much on my finger. It also hasn't come off on my straw. But like I said, I want it to look more pink, so I'm going to take my YSL lipstick in the shade number 50. This is the Rouge Voluptueux Shine, and pop that on. So that stayed very, very purple. It did kind of tone it down a little bit, but it didn't really make it look pink at all. I do want more pink in this look, so I'm going to take more of that pink frost all over the lower lash line. I wanted to check in because I had said that I never really kind of looked at the Wet n Wild foundation, and so I wanted to show you what it looks like after I've had it on for like I don't know, 4 hours? Let's see. About 4 hours. My biggest complaints would be that it's dry, but I really can't blame it. It's a matte foundation. But I'm noticing, let's get real with each other right now. Let's get real close. I'm getting those like laugh, smile lines where everything kind of collects right there. Plus the pimple situation is looking real gross. I don't hate it. Is it fantastic? Not really. It's matte, but it's not super matte. So it's not like dewy or anything like that, but it does have a pretty dry look to it. So I don't know if I would recommend it for either oily or dry skin, but it's really inexpensive. It looks really good with my ring light. I will do some flash photography and insert that here so that you can see what it also looks like with flash photography. But all in all, I just wanted to check in with you. Alright, I'm going to leave the look here. I feel like it looks really nice. It's not too, like, pinky, but it is bold, and if you like really super natural looks for Valentine's Day, you go for it, girl. Whatever makes your heart happy. This is what made my heart happy today, so this is what I went with. I hope you guys enjoyed. I have an absolute disaster on my vanity now, and I'm going to film the rest of my videos for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. I will see you very soon in my next video. I hope you all have a day full of love for Valentine's Day in whatever way, shape, or form that is for you. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you later. Bye!